What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing? Good to hear. So yeah, after the NBA season was done, I missed basketball. So now I'm gonna do a series, 30 days straight, 30 NBA teams. Each day, I'm gonna voice my opinion about them. I'm just gonna talk about their off season. What they've done so far, what they can do, and how I think they're gonna do this next season. Just all that regular stuff. And for the first video, I think it's only fitting we start with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The reigning champs, right? And they're the reigning champs for a reason. When you look at this team, right, it's hard to find holes, which is one of the best things you can have in the NBA. I mean, clearly you saw this team be damn near perfect in the season, the regular season, throughout the playoffs. They showed their youngness, right, because they're a bunch of young 23-year-olds making it to the finals, but overall, it's like you look to improve this team and you're like, how? I mean, you have your clear-cut star in Shea. He's been outstanding last year. In the playoffs, he had plenty of games where he had to put the team on his back, and he led the charge when they blew him out, when it was a close game and they had to come back. When they needed someone to just get a bucket, it was Shea. Then you have J-Dub, right? The Robin to Shea's Batman. No glaze. But J-Dub took a massive step this whole year. I mean, you saw it in the playoffs, in the finals, when you had a 40-point game. I mean, the seasons before this, it was who's going to be, Shea's number two. Is it going to be Chet? Is it going to be J-Dub? Are they going to trade for somebody else to be there? And J-Dub came out this season was like, nah, I'm here for it. I want the responsibility. I'm going to be an all-star. And I'm going to be, there's going to be a case for me to win, finals MVP. Not like a real case, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. And as good as J-Dub has been, you still have Chet. It's just like this core they have built is insane. And Chet was down on defense this year. Think about that. They were this good, and Chet was down on defense this year. On the stats, it says he wasn't down, but if you look at the way he's playing in the playoffs specifically, he looked nervous, he looked young, he looked like it was easy to target him on offense somehow. Like, you wanted him to get the ball because he would just take a dumb shot, or he wouldn't know how to make the pass, whatever it was. But those are just three of the guys on the Thunder. And if they're still getting better. And when they do get better, it's going to be even harder to stop them. Now, looking at their offseason, I don't think they've done really anything yet at the time of posting this video. But one thing I do think they can do is trade for a wing, right? A starting wing. I lied. They did a couple little trades. But going back to the things they could do this offseason, get a wing like a shooting wing, because you saw in the playoffs, you saw in the regular season, they were lacking on shooting. That was the biggest thing, right? Their defense was so good that the offense couldn't keep up. That's why they had so many blowouts, because when their offense was hitting and they were in a full stride, their defense was equal to that offensive production, and so they won by like 30. And wings on the market, all that I really know of right now, because I haven't done much research, is like Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson would be ideal for them, because he's not a slouch on defense, and he's up there with the better shooters in the league. How you get there, I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked into acquiring him, but that's something that can help the Thunder in a sea of, success that they had. There's not much to be done to help them. Another thing that you saw them do in the playoffs, right, is experiment with different lineups and different styles of play. Because if I remember correctly, I don't think we saw the double big lineup until the second round, where Chet and Hartenstein played together and started. I mean, you saw Mark Daigneault try out all these different lineups in the playoffs. And they're lucky that they were that talented, because not many other teams can do that. You can't just say, oh yeah, this game we're going to start Case and Wallace, but this game we're going to have, Caruso starting. Or we're going to start double bigs. Or we're just going to start Chet this game, That's not a typical thing that coaches do. And I think that's what they're going to hone in on, in the regular season, the beginning of that, or at least I hope they focus on it, because you got to figure out what lineups you can run in the playoffs, right? But figuring out what small ball lineups work, because they're a fast team, they can afford to do that. What big lineups work, just one lineups work in general. Like I said, there's not much you can do to improve this team. Since the Warriors dynasty, when they were going back to back, there hasn't been a team to do that. Most of the championship winners have lost in the second round of the season after. I think the Thunder are the most equipped team to do that since the Warriors. I mean, you look at the Warriors, right? They had the stars, they had the supporting cast that was outstanding, the all stars, the second, third, fourth option, and the rest of their team was they could keep them without being too expensive. I think the Thunder do have a little bit too many players. I just read somewhere, so they might have to do a trade for just to get rid of some players. Hopefully not like big players, like Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, any of those players. Because if they can keep their whole roster, I think this team has the best chance we've seen in 8 years to go back to back. Not win it, but they can at least be in the finals again the same year, the next year. Who they play? I don't know yet. The East is wide open. We'll get there when we get there. But yeah, I think the Thunder are just going to keep getting better because they're still so young. They just won a finals. So they're going to play even harder because they know, or at least they should know that, hold on. Sorry, I had to burp. At least they should know that each team is going to come at their necks harder than they would normally because it's the previous championship winner. Everybody plays their best games against the best team. You kind of got to hope that they don't stoop to the lower competition and play not like how they play. But yeah, man, I personally think the Thunder have the best odds to go back to the championship in the East, in the West, in the league. Yeah, man. Shout out to Basketball Reference. Sorry, I got my stats from Basketball Reference. But yeah, that's how I view the offseason for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm probably gonna do switching off conferences, so Thunder, Pacers, whatever, or I might just do the standings, whatever. We'll figure it out. But whatever video comes out next will be the day after this one. So stay tuned for that. That's how I feel about the Thunder this year and how they're gonna do next year. A lot of talking. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys, if you watch basketball, how you viewed them this season and what you think next season is going to be like for the Thunder, But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.